Ask your neighbor, are you privileged? What's the response? I'll tell you why I feel privileged tonight. Okay, so John 6:44 says, no man can come to the Father. No man can come to me except the Father does what? Draws him. So you didn't find God. God found you. You didn't find him. You didn't go looking for him. He found you. And guess what? He has a huge plan for you in 2022. A massive plan. A plan to give you peace. Praise God. Okay, so one of the famous African proverbs says that if you want to walk very fast, what do? Go alone. But if you want to go very far, what should you do? Go together. You need people. Okay, you want to walk very, very fast, go alone. So the decision should be, do I want to walk fast or do I want to walk very far? Is the intention to go very far, or is it to just make sure I am moving very fast? And for most of us, the answer will be option B, which is to go very far. As we have enjoyed the creation experience, Days of Grace, we've done a lot of the spiritual aspect. I'd like to raise our attention to something very important. I call it relationships. So tonight we'll be talking about forging strong relationships, forging positive relationships for the year 2022. Everyone seated in this auditorium, from outside, every individual is a product of three things. Number one, your background, the values your parents introduced to you, what you came to know. Number two, the decisions you have made. You're a product of the decisions you've made. And number three, which is most important, the association you keep. They always say if you see 5 wise men walking, if you are by 5 wise men, it's because they did not do the right thing. They probably are 6 because you are beside them. But if you are by 5 fools, they also did not do the right thing because they are not 5. You know, that sounds like a very harsh statement, but it's true. These days, parents are not only encouraged to know the friends of their children, they are encouraged to know the parents of the friends of their children, those people that have the attention of your children. So you don't want to wake up one day and say, this is what I said to my child, and this is what my child is doing. So relationships are a function of value, and they just help you to position yourself. As you're seated here, you're just 2 contacts away from the governor, 2 contacts away from the president. So you should be checking yourself. Those contacts, are they on your contact list? Or you have not met them? Or you knew them before, but something has happened to the relationship? Well, let's talk about the 4 C's. I call this short class the 4 C's of strong relationships, some C's that you must adopt as you move into 2022. The first one happens to be, coincidentally, one of the 21st century skills, which is collaboration. When I was growing up, I always heard my mommy say, it's 1 year between myself and my older sister, Kemi. Kemi can do this, Ronke cannot do this. And this is Kemi's area, this is Ronke's area. You know, there was a lot of comparison. And that was not very okay, you know. Some of us are used to, I cannot do this, this is this person's area. Some people even look at me and my husband, Amania, and they say they are so different. Even in another 20 years, we'll be different. If we happen to meet ourselves in another life, there's nothing like in another few years we'll start behaving. He's Amani, I'm Ronke, we can't be the same. But guess what? When we collaborate, you now know that variety is the spice of life. We have learned to understand that the best we can have is what both of us are bringing together, which is collaboration. What are you doing? What do you have to offer? You can't talk about collaboration if you have nothing to offer. When you meet on the negotiation table, if you have nothing to offer, you will lose. But for you to win in relationships, win in business, you must understand the power of collaboration. Don't allow anybody box you to a corner. Which is more important between bread and butter? Toothbrush and toothpaste, which is more important? There's no basis for comparison. Don't compare people. Don't look at yourself. Don't belittle yourself and say this is this person's area. If that's that person's area, look for your own area and be ready to collaborate. Because if you are so talented, the best you can win is a game. You want to win the championship, what do you need? A team. So you should be asking yourself, who are the members of my team? Who are the people by my side that will enable me to achieve my goal? And if you don't have such people, make sure you rethink. When Obi Kubana's story came up, I loved it a lot. It was a story of social investment circle. So beyond the money that was up and down, I love the social investment circle part. Because as we're growing up again, they put a lot of emphasis on academics. You must come first. You must be the best. But they didn't tell us so much that even when you get to a point, you need social influence influence. You need social influence to move from one point to another. So start asking yourself, who are those people around me that can help me to collaborate? Meanwhile, as you do that, understand that there's something called negative synergy, where 2 equals 1. It's not all the time that 1 plus 1 will give you 2. Sometimes 2 plus 2 can give you 3. So you must be careful and collaborate with the right people. Number 2 is credibility. Nothing hurts more than a lie. A lie can literally tear 2 nations apart. Sometimes people believe they are very smart. When I hire drivers, I always test them. So I put money, I just let them play, and I even hear some of them joke and say, madam did not know that I've eaten that money. And in my mind, I say, now the money will go chop for my hand, don't chop. So sorry I had to speak that way. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. Like, you have enjoyed what you should have enjoyed, you have taken it. So don't ever look at somebody else and think you are a smart person. Don't look at somebody else and think nobody knows what he or she is up to. I found out when I was preparing for this that the currency of a leader is what? Is credibility. You have no business in leadership if you are not credible. And when we talk about credibility, we're talking about the value of your word. What is your word worth? Are you the kind of person that has a nice excuse for everything? Are you the kind of person who believes it didn't happen because I tried, I did this, and all of a sudden? Or are you such a person who believes everybody is doing it? There's a room for credibility. People move from nations to other nations looking for credible people. There are people who want to come to Nigeria, but they are checking if you're credible. Would you be ready to do business with such people? Are you saying to yourself that I'm ready, I qualify for this? If you lack credibility, you're going to have problems with relationships, because it's not all the time you can confront somebody who has hurt you. And when somebody has said a lie, guess what? Trust is given for the first time. Afterwards is what? Is earned. And to earn someone's trust after a lie is almost impossible. They say that finance is the reason for a breakup in marriage. But I have found out that lies hurt more than financial issues. Okay? So next time, ask yourself, what is my reputation? What's the value? Let's do what Sister Okwe said the other time. Sometimes ask people to tell you about yourself and know just how credible you are. Stop looking at yourself and feel, why am I always at the receiving end? Why is it I've not been promoted? Maybe there's something wrong with your credibility. Number 3, very important. I didn't want to call this communication. I wanted to take it a bit higher. It's not just communication. It is commitment. Commitment. You need to learn to be committed to people. Somebody has a burial, the person is close to you. That's not the time you want to travel. Somebody has something important to do, and then you have a very nice excuse. You don't commit your time, you don't commit your funds. Nigeria is tough, that's the reason. The litmus test for commitment is punctuality. No wonder Mary was hot when Jesus came after 4 days. She cried, she felt, oh, we're close. How come you're coming after my brother has died? Okay, so learn how to adjust this late coming thing, African time. Remove it from your dictionary. It's not helping anybody. It's a bad, don't let them refer to us as people who don't value time. Don't you know that's one asset we can't afford to joke with? Time. If you joke with time, then you're just saying to me that I can joke with everything about you. So it's very important that we understand the value of time. We know when God wanted to commit to us, what did he do? He gave us his son. He wanted to commit to us. He decided to spend time with Adam. He was going over to see Abraham. So you can't love someone. You can't want to get the best of someone that you're not willing to give time to. Give time to positive relationships. Look for that time. Make sure you create that time within your schedule, that this is important to me, I've got to let it grow. Nurture the relationship. Make sure you are involved. Don't be saprophytic. You know, when someone is saprophytic, you know what it is? That's somebody who feeds on something that is almost dead. Or maybe parasitic, that's when everybody is giving you. Is this person's birthday, you feel, let me go and eat rice. Don't go to anybody's birthday without a gift again. Don't do it. Don't do it. Commit to relationships. Build the right relationships that will work for your future. You don't want to do something and somebody will come and give you how many cows. All right? No, that's like a very big joke. But trust me, people don't want to know, people don't care to know what you know, but they want to know how much you care. All right, so it's so important that you commit to whatever you consider important to you. I even like the fact that when people feel they are close, they begin to share values. So I could say, I want you to read this book and let's review it. Let's see that we're on the same page. Commit to a relationship that you consider important. And number 4, very important, is compassion. The reason why some of our parents made us hate business is because they went into business and somehow they didn't make a lot out of it because somebody was quick to defraud the other party. So many times you just sit down and you tell yourself, I didn't come to Lagos to count bridges. I'm not here because of this one. This is my boss. The boss earns more. He earns maybe 800,000. Why should I be the one doing this for him? What is wrong in surprising your boss? Is he out of this world? The other time, Pastor was talking to us about giving, and I love that example he gave. It's true. When I was growing, okay, like maybe I began to talk to a few people, and they told me that the first day you have a mentor, you've got to cancel something out of it. Money must never come in between the two of you. Meaning, if you are that broke, your mentor is not the person to turn to. You might be wondering that, why do I call him a mentor if I don't come to him? But you don't know that in relationships, money has a way of making the relationship one-sided and putting you where? You who is asking for the money, you'll be below. So you need to be compassionate. Look at somebody and do something about it. Oh, I'm traveling and I feel Pastor Nee would like this. And then it's not about whether he has. Giving must not be out of necessity. It shouldn't be out of necessity. It should be born out of what? Out of love. And in a relationship that you value or you want to grow, you must be compassionate with the other party. Compassion should not be traded. Compassion should not be delayed. Don't tell yourself that maybe when I start to earn 600,000, then that's when this person will feel me. No, do something about it now. Remember, you can touch the hearts of people with your gestures. Have an amazing 2022. I cannot wait. I'm excited. Maybe we'll do a part 2, but for now, see you in 2022.